What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Spencer, the newest film from director Pablo Larraín. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button, as well as comment below on any video you watch, including this one. So Spencer is this fabulistic tale, which actually says it in the very beginning of this movie, of a tragic story, which of course is of Diana, Princess of Wales. But this movie is much, much more. But in essence, what ends up happening in this movie is Princess Diana travels to this country home, this really regal castle, I guess you could say. She gets there late after the Queen, which is something you're not supposed to do. And the movie basically transforms into this horror story about one woman who starts to completely collapse under the stress, under the regalness, under the forceful nature, under the ugliness that, as we learned from Harry and of course Meghan Markle, is a almost abusive situation in a lot of aspects. The nature of how the royal family works, how they operate, and how they have two fronts, as Prince Charles says in this movie, the fake front and the real front, is a very scary thing to hear about, and it's played to almost perfection in this movie, because we see, for instance, the royal military brings in all the food so that it's not poisoned or anything. The chefs are under a lot of stress to make it perfect. The character that Timothy Spall plays, who's the eyes and ears of the kind of butler staff and whatnot, how he operates. And we have, of course, Sally Hawkins, who plays Maggie, who is the clothing person for, of course, Princess Diana. And what the movie ends up being basically about is just how stressful the situation is and how it kind of broke Diana to the point where she eventually divorced, for Prince Charles, and her kids got involved and whatnot. But with that said, Diana's, of course, played by Kristen Stewart, who is getting a lot of Oscar buzz for this performance. There's also a lot of famous, of course, British actors, like they said, Sally Hawkins, Timothy Spall, and Jack Farthing, who plays Prince Charles. And it's a movie, like I said, that is, in its essence, a horror film, to be fairly honest. It's a film that really is shocking and scary, and even though it's fabricated in a lot of aspects, the idea of maybe Diana going through something like this, having a mental breakdown that she does have in this movie, to be real, it makes a lot of sense, because when you're held to such strict standards and you're a very outgoing person, or you don't have a support structure outside of her kids and this one character, Maggie, which I don't even know if it's a true character, but of course the kids are real. That's a very dangerous kind of mixture, I guess you could say. And it's true. I mean, the royal family is known for being some terrible, terrible human beings. And it's a scary thing to watch. It really is. But on top of everything, it's a very mesmerizing movie. It's a very powerful movie. I think I agree with everybody that Kristen Stewart at least deserves an Oscar nomination for this role, because she literally becomes Diana, Princess of Wales. You almost forget Kristen Stewart's even playing the character. She is absolutely mesmerizing. She definitely deserves an Oscar nomination, maybe an Oscar win for this movie, because this is what I'm considering her breakthrough performance. Like I said, she's done other roles that have kind of lifted her as an A-list actress, but this is something on another level. She is absolutely insanely good in this movie. She's it's a powerhouse performance. The things she has to do as an actress in this movie, the way she has the same tics and the same kind of I want to say movements and the same logical way she talks, it's such an incredible way she does it. And it's just something I was never expecting, somebody like Kristen Stewart to be able to handle, because this is such a weighty performance, but she takes the role and runs with it. And it was insanely just impressive. I keep saying impressive, but it was insanely impressive. And, to watch her, act like a mother to these two young kids who we know how they grow up to be royal, kids and whatnot, how she handles, the nature of the people around her, how she's a little bit stern, a little bit of that richness to her, but she wants people around her who will give her kind of a support structure. And then they take away Maggie through this movie, who Sally Hawkins is once again incredible in the movie, but it causes her to completely unravel, and how she wants to do everything, and she's just so stuck. And to watch Kristen Stewart give that performance and how she handles the nature of everything around her is just it's insanely, it's a well done performance. It really is. And it's also a movie that, you know, has some great, you know, character moments. You know, her and Timothy Spall have a lot of moments. I think Timothy Spall is definitely an Oscar worthy performance as well. He gives a great performance. Lost a lot of weight, which is kind of awesome. You know, it's kind of, I didn't even expect this. I didn't even know that was Timothy Spall until I started thinking about it. I think what's also really interesting is the fact that Pablo Larraín, who directed, I think, Jackie, and what's really also interesting that Pablo Larraín and Stephen Knight do in this movie is the royal family is in this movie. You know, like I said, Prince Charles, the Jack Farthing character, and of course, you know, Queen Elizabeth and the rest of the royal family. But they're more of just background characters, to be fairly honest. They're characters that you don't see very much in the movie. But the way Kristen Stewart uses her character and the way Pablo Larraín and Stephen Knight have set up the movie, there's always an underlining of menace. There's always an underlining of unease, and that is told through, like I said, Timothy Spall's character. That is told through the maids and you know, the cooks and stuff like that. You know, there's one point where, of course, Kristen Stewart talks, or the Kristen Stewart Diana character talks to the main chef, the head chef of the, you know, of course, of this place during Christmas. That you get a sense that there's something truly off about this world, that there's something truly unsettling and horrifying and just dark and insane. You can tell these people really want to be there for Diana, but they have an oath to the royal crown and stuff like that. Even Timothy Spall says that, and I think that that's what makes the movie just completely work. I mean, it's a movie that has so many layers to it that when you are just with Diana and you are with the children, it feels like she is just, you know, reaching for air, that all the life of her is being sucked out, and it's just pretty impressive to watch. It really is. I think Stephen Knight is one of the best writers, even though he had some missteps with the Serenity movie, but it's when you have a writer who can create a level of craft, and you have a director that can create a level of authenticity, and you have a cinematographer who can work in some really interesting kind of degrees of level of, you know, filming, it makes it for a really empowering movie and compelling kind of nature in all its aspects, because it definitely leads to a conclusion that I'm pretty sure didn't happen, but the setup and kind of the eventual roll down the hill, like I said, you know, I always say collecting the dirt and getting all of it to this big ball to the eventual conclusion where it falls in the water. I think that it is a mesmerizing movie. I think it's one of the best of the year, and I think all the performances, even the ones with the royal family, are absolutely fantastic because they've made this world that's fabricated but has some truth and some validity to it, with, you know, that the fact that they were real people. And on top of that, because this is feels like it's a little bit of a commentary on Harry and Meghan Markle's story about all the tragedy that they went through, that it makes it even more horrifying and terrifying. So anyways, that'll do it. That'll be my take on Spencer. Thank you so much for watching. In the comments below, if you've seen Spencer, what's your overall take of it? Are you interested in even seeing this movie? If you are, let me know what you're looking forward to, I guess you could say. But otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top. The fun's coming next. And if you like any of these videos, awesome, hit that like button, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.